Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. Today we have the Real Randy Chavez.
Hi guys, everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi.
Awesome.
What y'all up
Well,
to?
okay, we got about 19 people watching. That's not too bad so far.
Hi
That's pretty
guys.
good.
The only comment I see is alone that says this will be a 10 out of 10 stream. Um, oh, there's a bunch of them. Okay. You can still see me though, right? Even though right? You can still see me?
Wow, there he went.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, we got you.
All right, we're good. We're good now. Okay, let's get the spread, guys.
All right, so let's just go and start with, can you tell us a little bit about yourself? You can take this anywhere you want.
Yeah, sure. Well, before this, I was watching on my new Paramount app the Wild Thornberrys movie, and that was really good. I haven't finished it yet. I saw it like years ago. I don't really remember it, and it was like, yeah, it's really. Now spoilers in case you haven't seen it. I could have sworn there was an episode where Debbie learns that Eliza can talk to animals, and not just in the movie. But I Google it, I can't find that anywhere. So that's what I've been doing with my free time the past week. I watched like Jimmy Neutron, watch a cat dog, all this stuff, because it's got Paramount thing, so gotta play with it, gotta watch stuff. And then yeah, I like animals and money and like working out. I'm pretty simple man.
Gotcha. Yeah. Let's see here. So, I know you've had your channel for a while now. Tell me about why you wanted to start a channel, kind of your YouTube journey. What brought you to this point, YouTube wise?
Yeah, sure. So I actually like years ago, I did a couple of videos when I was like really into like politics. I was like hardcore like libertarian, like anti-big government, hated the left and the right, and I just did a couple things on there. One of them was like Pork Fest day drinking, like Porcupine Freedom Festival. Like a bunch of libertarians go to the woods and they just drink for a week. It's really crazy. But that was actually my first exposure to Bitcoin and Dogecoin. People were using them. One's here for Dashi. So I would go and I had a few videos back then, but I didn't make videos for years. And then one day there's this page called E4. It's basically short for Elite Four, for a Pokemon page, which is basically a Reddit for Pokemon, where they can discuss people that want to buy things, price and market discussion, what to trade, new pieces of their collection. And I was taking over that price and market discussion, saying like, oh, this card sold for this. I wonder how much this card will sell for. And I would keep going. I'd be like, I felt bad because I was posting in there like multiple times a day. And when we had a PWCC auction, PWCC is a big giant auction house. They would literally have hundreds of cards that would be sold. And I'd be like, I would want to talk about all of them. I'd be like, all right, I can't do this here. In order to talk about all of them, I started a YouTube channel for it because I was really interested in the numbers with it. And I thought like, okay, nobody else is talking about this. You have people that are opening up packs. You have people that are showing off their collections, but nobody's talking about the numbers and the data analysis about, okay, well, why are they going for this? So I started that, and that's kind of where it started.
Do you still have that content on your channel, or did you get rid of it? Or
Yeah, it's all still on there. It's on, all of it should be on my Pokemon playlist, and I love that David Rosen's mom is in here. But yeah, so I have all of those still. I still have all my Tesla videos on from Test Streets. I still have all of my Tesla videos from when I was making those last year, and where at the time I had I was working in the high risk lending industry, where there was a lot of stock guys in there, but it was mostly just about giving your money out to other business owners. And a couple guys being like, listen, there's so much competition now, for Tesla. Like even at that time, people were debating about whether Nikola would be a competitor. And I made a couple videos about it. It's like, no, Nikola is god awful. That Trevor, whatever his name is just like a con artist. and I called it out, and I was right. So I usually go against the grain, whether it's for Pokemon, buying high-end Pokemon collectibles, like record price points, which I talked about on the channel this morning. I was like, you want to buy these NFTs for these record price points, be the one to pay that record price point, and yeah, that's the risk you got to take. You could overpay for it, and the next like 5 or 10 of them will sell for less, or that's the new floor, and then the rest of them are just going to be selling for above that. So I did that. I did put a lot of money into Tesla. I know I had 188 shares before I sold it, mostly for OMI. And I just like to talk about things that I just felt I had a different view and perspective on it.
I heard you talk about Tesla quite a bit, and I'm just kind of interested. Did you buy Tesla before that huge run up in price, or did you buy in during that run up?
I was buying a little bit before the pandemic when I was buying from like 700 to 900. So at the top at the time, because I knew it was still undervalued, and the world threw me a bone kind of, and it dipped so hard down to like 350, and this is before the split. So I was buying all the way down as much as I could. The same thing similar is happening with OMI. I bought at 0.007 or 0.008, and then Bitcoin took a tank, and so did OMI. So I've been buying all the way down, and I bought. And at the time, like classic investing says, don't put any more than like 5%, maybe 10% of your net worth into any one thing, and like 40% of my net worth is going into Tesla. So everyone's telling me to stop. It's like, no, it's really undervalued. And now because I'm not working anymore, I haven't really had anyone tell me to stop. Just a couple of people that have a bigger OMI bag than I do that say like, come on, come catch me. It's like, well, it's kind of hard because I've already spent like 140 grand in it. So it's I don't have that much more money left. But yeah, I was buying all the way down and even all the way back up as well until I had no more money. Pretty much what I'm doing with OMI.
So I know you have like a bunch of OMI. How much do you have right now?
Once the next order goes through, I will have 60 million OMI. I had 57 as of this morning, and then I put in another $13,500 order, but I think before it takes a little bit and the transferring everywhere. So it should be like 60.5 million OMI that should get total. And I really do want to get up to that 69 number just for the lols, like just for the memes, 69. But I don't. I'm running out of money. I could sell my Bitcoin. I'm trying to sell these Pokemon cards. I have a first edition Blastoise PSA 10. Last one of those sold for like I think 38 grand. The one before that sold for like 44. So if I can get like 44 or even like 38, that'll be fine. And I'll put most of that into OMI. But I have to sell it first. So advertising on Instagram. Yeah, that's where I am right now.
I know the last time we got together, we were talking about how you were going to sell these cards. So how did you accumulate these Pokemon cards?
In February of 2020. Well, in 2018, I had like February 2018, I had I had my liver like tap out. Like I had gone really hard at a friend's retirement party. It was a guy I served with back in the day, and we went hard, and like I survived, but like the damage was done. And the next like beer I had, like the next party, whatever, I was just peeing brown for like a couple of days, and I didn't know what it was, and then my liver just went like Billy Rubin went to like heights unknown. And I remember like, well, my organs are gonna start to fail, and I'm gonna be happy, and I'm gonna spend the money that I made in the high risk lending business, on Pokemon cards, because there's some that I collected when I was a kid, and I wanted them graded. I wanted them first edition. I wanted them all like this gem mint, like these perfect cards. I started buying them, and then when I got into got really into market risk and data analysis, I started seeing why they would sell for what they would sell for, and I would start buying just really what I liked. I like Charizards, and then in February of 2020, I had enough of the cards and I had enough money where I put an extra $30,000 into cards, and I opened up the Chavez Kanto project, which Kanto is the first region in Pokemon that you explore. And I did that about 2 weeks before the pandemic. and then everything went to poop, and I was like, oh my god, this is like the worst time to start a company. And then it worked out because everyone was home. They're just like, well, I want to go through these Pokemon cards now and buy some. So that really worked out. Again, I got very, very lucky. And then last year, paying that record price point of $80,000 for a trophy Kangaskhan. And then I was finally able to sell that mostly in like 2 weeks ago, like the last day of June. And the funds actually cleared when I sold my Tesla the same day that this card sold. So I had a lot of money in my account for one day. It was great. Yeah.
You know, I watched some of your streams and some of your content, and you just seem like the type of guy that when you believe in something, you go all in. And I think that differentiates you from quite a few people. Like even me, I have a hard time just doing that. So when you bought all those cards, kind of what were you thinking? Well, did you say 80,000 or 8,000? You bought those cards.
The last one, the one card I bought last was 80, so 80. Yeah, 80,000.
Oh wow! So
yeah,
vast majority of people aren't going to throw $80,000 into a card. Like what? How are you able to do that? Just mentally.
Yeah, that when I started doing it, people were like, "What? Like a couple $100 for a Pokemon card? Like it's just a couple $100." They were, so it definitely was not as sexy as it is now. It definitely was not as like popular and cool. Even now, if you could go talk to like a Chad or someone, and that is just like all like playing baseball and like a dart league, beer league for darts, they're not going to know what the heck's going on. But yeah, so I remember a few different things why I do that is I think it was the Simpsons movie where like a giant meteor, or maybe it's a Goofy movie, like a giant meteor is coming like to Earth or whatever, and like Earth is like going to be like what's that called, destroyed. And there's this one guy that says like, I've spent 50 years collecting these comic books and nothing else, and says worth it, all worth it. So I was like, all right, well he's happy, he's facing certain death and he's happy. And then so I wanted to be happy, and I also wanted because as that business owner of Chavez Trading Company, I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to be this, I want to be a different type of business owner, like a different type of CEO that kind of does what he wants, kind of taken a little bit from Elon Musk, who had after he sold PayPal and he'd split all of his money between Tesla and SpaceX, and had to borrow money from friends to pay for rent. I didn't really go that far. I do have a little bit of money left in my bank account for rent, for the next few months anyway. And I'll go, and why I did that is because there's this guy called Dave Lee on investing, and he's a big Tesla guy. And he, in like 2011, 2012, he talked to his wife and said like, hey, I really believe in Tesla. It's a big risk. They took out like a second mortgage on their house. They took out equity line credit, like put it all in on Tesla. And, dude's rich AF now. Similar to this guy, JP, that is a subscriber of mine. He sold everything, maxed out all his credit cards, has 137 million OMI. And he's just like, yeah, I can make the payments on the cards, on the credit cards with the job that I have. And it's just going to hodl. So I sold my Tesla. I sold all these Pokemon cards for it. I don't know what the original question was. We just kind of got lost in the story.
No, keep going.
Oh, okay. And I also realized that if I want to continue buying, if I want to help build my own animal sanctuary and buy land in Madagascar, the more money I have, the better. And this is probably the best way right now that I see to make money is with OMI. Again, Earth 2 doesn't have their crypto out yet. They don't have Essence. It's not a complete game. And Bitcoin, maybe that 3x's by the end of the year, maybe 4 or 5x's, maybe it goes to 150. But OMI, I think minimum like 10x's by the end of the year, go into 3.5 cents. That's my bear case. So Steve Irwin, when he had died, had donated about $10 million to conservation efforts. I want to dwarf that, and I want to like dedicate that to Steve Irwin. Like, hey guys, like this is only happening because of him. So yeah, that's the idea. It's a goal.
When you spent that $80,000 on a Pokemon card, what were you thinking? Were you thinking this is definitely going to go up in value, or were you just like, I want that Pokemon card, I don't care what the price is?
Yes, I also looked at something that was, because again, it was middle pandemic, and I got lucky with the fact that Pokemon cards were going up. I did want something that was recession-proof, because a lot of people that, and I brought this up for OMI NFTs as well, is that if you have people that are, I think the average expendable income each month is like $1,800 a month for like middle class or upper middle class. That's how much they have after bills, after everything to spend on what they want. And during the hard times, let's say people lose their job and they're not working, unemployment's not coming in, then you have, what's the first things to go? Well, probably these NFT collectibles, probably these cards that are only worth a couple hundred, couple $1,000, because that's food, that's a car payment, that's maybe rent or mortgage. But if you're spending 5 figures, 6 figures on a Pokemon card, you probably are going to be okay in a recession, in a downturn. And I also knew that it was very undervalued, because Charizards are 121 of those are first edition PSA 10, and they're worth like, I don't know, $300,000, give or take now. And I saw these were, a lot of people in that high end were saying, oh, well, do I collect a trophy card, like a trophy Kangaskhan, or do I collect that Charizard? And it's the top of the top. There was only 11 of the PSA 10s in the world. And my friend Scott had already declined an offer for $65,000, which this guy that I bought it from, he did not know of. So I was like, okay, can we settle at 80? If I give you some trade in, I give you some cash, it's a record price point, just give me a few months to pay it off. And he said, yeah, sure. So we did it, and I got to work selling all my cards, and I knew, because I see cross collectors already that don't know anything about Pokemon. They don't give a squat about Pokemon. They come in from sports and art, and they just buy the top of the top. They don't care what the price is. They don't care if it's a record price. They just want that for their collection. Like, remember that one scene in Iron Man where him and Pepper are talking about a painting. It's like, what do you think of it? And she's like, well, in my opinion, I think it's really overpriced. And Iron Man's like, I need it. And he's like, give me. So that's pretty much what a lot of these guys are like, especially that are coming in from sports, where they're used to spending 7 figures on a card. Or if they come from art, where they're spending 9 figures on a piece of art, it's not like 6 figures is nothing. So I do believe that card will be $1 million before the end of the decade. But again, I sold it because I can make a lot more putting it into OMI. So, yeah.
So what made you decide that OMI is going to be that next investment? What do you see in OMI that allows you to dump even more money than you spent on that card into the token and things like that?
I see that even though Pokemon's the new, or newer kid on the block, even though it's 25 years old, there are some people that I knew in that high end that didn't want Pokemon. They didn't even want Magic because it was too young. It wasn't considered a collectible to them. But that's also because they were new kid on the block of an old school type of collecting. And something disruptive like NFTs that almost nobody hears about yet. If you talk to anyone over 65, maybe they know what Bitcoin is. No, but I don't know if they're going to know what Ethereum is, or Cardano, or Binance, and they're definitely not going to know what an NFT is. So this is so very new, and a lot of kids are very familiar with it. A lot of kids are familiar with Fortnite skins, and they're familiar with CS:GO skins and things like that.
Yeah.
And, well, why does Uber continue to grow, and why they will continue to grow until Tesla comes out with full self-driving, is because they started with a younger crowd, with like the 20s and 30s. I don't think any of our parents will really ever take an Uber. My dad, I think, took one once. And the reason why they're still going to continue to grow, because as time goes on, younger kids get older, and the people that are old, that are not using Uber, they're still not going to use Uber. They're going to die. The kids that aren't using Uber, but they will, are going to grow up, and they're going to use it. So it's a very good market plan. And I think I see something similar with VeVe, because of just the NFTs alone, just the fact that it's disrupting collectibles, the fact that you don't have to store your phone at a certain temperature, or avoid the light. You could play with these NFTs supposedly in the VeVeverse, and they're not going to get a scratch on them. They're going to be in perfect condition. The rarity comes from the mint numbers. So it's very disruptive, and it's an innovative company too. Like Pokemon, the hundreds of thousands, there are companies that spend millions of dollars each month on Pokemon cards. That again, like people think I'm like a whale because I spent one $80,000 on one card, but there are some people that spend 10 times that on a bunch of cards each month. They are, yeah, they don't understand how much money is going to be in this, and they also don't understand that some people, when they play with cards, it's the value goes down. And I forget what I was talking about before this. I kind of got lost in my own thread. What was the question again?
Why do you feel OMI is like that
Yes,
next
yeah.
big
So
investment for you?
that's just with NFTs. That's just with collectibles. That's not including. When people buy tens of thousands, $100,000, $1 million worth of cards, Pokemon doesn't get anything for that. They only get money when they ship to things like a Walmart or somebody that has stores. But VeVe is so vertically integrated that they not only control the marketplace, but they control the secondary marketplace as well. When people sell to one another, they get a piece of that. 2.5% of that OMI is burned, which is good for the founders. It's good for VeVe. And I think, as you do on the marketplace, I think VeVe does get a little bit of a cut of that as well. I'm not 100% sure on that. But then again, you have the VeVeverse. Like why I haven't bought Safe Moon, and I wouldn't yet. But part of the reason why I was thinking about it is because they want to be attached to a game, and I think recently they are attached to Minecraft. There is a Safe Moon server in Minecraft, but that's how you do it. Like that's how My Neighbor Alice did it. Decentraland with Mana did it. All of these games they have to have a game attached to a cryptocurrency. That's why I like Earth 2 as well. They have a game, they have cryptocurrency. That it's disruptive in so many different industries. We're super early. Taps Trades did a video on it the other day saying like all of these sections going on up. We're still in section 1. We're still very early.
Yeah. So how much OMI do you have now? I know we have some new viewers. You mentioned it early in the beginning. How much do you have right now? And what is your buying plan? Are you going to buy more? Are you going to cap out at 69 million OMI or?
After the order goes through today, I had 57 million, but before this morning, I put in an order for another 13,000-ish dollars. So I should have 60-ish million, 60.4, something like that. If the only hope I can get if the only hope I can get to 69 million is if it dips. If it dips, I'll buy more on the dip at 0.0025, 27, whatever, and I'll just buy more. And I'm not going to starve. So if I could, I don't want to drain my bank account, but probably will. I tell myself I don't want to, and I won't, and it's not a responsible thing to do. But again, I'm living, on my own. I don't have a wife. I don't have kids. I don't even have pets. So there's nobody else that's taking on the risk. It's all just me. So I'm very confident. And that again, I don't know when to stop. And my issue is I use buy and I say, oh, I'll sell up here, and I just don't sell. So if anything, I would sell more Pokemon cards and Bitcoin before I'd sell OMI right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I'll buy. If it dips, I'll buy. Honestly, if I still have enough money, even if it goes up to 0.004 or even half a penny, I still think it's a good buy, and it'll be a better buy than Bitcoin, even at a penny. So I'll still probably buy regardless of what it does.
So I watched a Cavell video recently, and he had a price prediction for OMI being like $10, and I don't know if he said the time frame, but maybe he saw that too. He said that before too. He believes it's going to be like $10. Yeah. What is your reasonable price prediction like in your mind? Like definitely OMI is going to go and hit this level, bare minimum.
I think it depends on the timeline, and I even said that at the end of 2040, 19 years from now, that it could reach $10 by then. But I did the math this morning, and in order for it to reach $1 trillion market cap, it would need to be $6.53. So $1 trillion is a lot of money. Like Tesla's not even there, Facebook's not even there. Like, I'm not saying that we won't be able to do it, although it will get hard because again, more OMI will be burned every single day. I think we did 10.1 million OMI burn yesterday. On this drop at 0.0033, if it is that price, which it's not, it's lower than that now, we're going to burn over 420 million OMI. Everyone comment nice down below for that 420. And that's just on the drop. That's not including the marketplace for that day. So it could very well be 450 million OMI that's burned. So getting to $1 trillion will be hard, not just because it would right now, when none of the tokens are burned, it would have to reach $6.53. But it's going to have to be even higher because tokens are going to be burned, they're going to be bought back, mass burn events. But I do think that, like I said, my bear case for this year is 3 to 5 cents. Base case is about 8, and my bull case would be 10 to 12 cents. The bull case, that's if we get all on these great exchanges like Kraken and Coinbase and Binance especially. Binance is number one. That's probably the most important. And then they announce Disney and they announce Star Wars and they announce like all this year. I don't want them to. I want them to have some things to announce as we get more users, as we get a couple million users, and then announce this stuff so that we get more hype. But I do think whatever happens this year is at the end of next year, with a lot more growth, we should hit around 20 cents. And then if we grow at about 50% each year, as VeVeverse comes out and as there's something for everyone, I would say $1 by the end of 2026. And I even think you did what's that video called where you did the earnings per share? Like, what would it look like?
Oh yeah, I forgot the title of my video, but I just did a earnings per token price, and actually Taps helped me out a little bit with the modeling. We talked briefly about it.
Yeah, I mentioned that the other day. I was trying to look for it because I think you said it would have to trade at like 600 something earnings per share or earnings per token to reach $1, and like that's less than a bunch of things right now. So I was like,
yeah.
So I believe that could be good. Even though it is kind of hard to place. Well, can you do an earnings per share on tokens as you can the same with stocks? I mean, time will tell, but yeah. So I think $1 by the end of 2026 is well within reason. $3 by the end of 2030. But again, if this blows up, it took Amazon 20 years to become $1 trillion company. It took Bitcoin 12 years to have $1 trillion market cap. So I think by the end of the decade, we'll have multiple coins with $1 trillion market cap, like Ethereum, Binance Coin, Cardano. I don't know if OMI will have that $1 trillion market cap by the end of the decade, but I definitely think it'll be one of the top 20 coins. The optimist in me maybe says top 10, but they could surprise me. I am usually a little bit conservative, and maybe it gets $1 earlier. I don't know. See.
So there's obviously a lot of growth things that can push OMI price, to the moon, basically. What's the biggest thing for you that's like, okay, it's definitely going to go to $1 because of this? What's that thing for you? Is it, VeVeverse? Is it tokenomics? What is it for you?
Yeah, it'd have to be, well, probably a combination of everything, because it kind of has to work out where we have to get on all these exchanges, which we're going to. The VeVeverse is coming, but I think some people are expecting like a full LOL game or WoW game or Ready Player One right away, and probably going to have to get to that. At first, it might be almost a little boring, and kind of like I've made this comparison before, where if you're at an airfield somewhere in the middle of like Iraq or a forward operating base in Afghanistan, where you start and there's nothing there, but then as time goes on, the base gets better. You get washing machines, you get gym equipment. Because that's just what happens. It gets built up over time. So I think it might be something similar with the VeVeverse, but it's got to be good. It's like the biggest risk is if it fails, if it's laggy and like controls are weird, and yeah, that'd pretty much be it. So a couple of things have to work, and then the tokenomics as well. The coin doesn't really have much utility right now, so it is kind of a big risk.
Yeah, I like that analogy you used. When I was in Iraq and when I was in the Army, I think I was there like 2009 to 2010, but it was very built up. We had like a movie theater. We had like Latin salsa dance nights. We ate steak and crab every Friday.
You had surf and turf? Damn.
Yeah. And we could you can buy like a 50-inch screen TV, and we would play LAN parties. We had AC trailers. I mean, we had it. It was very nice, Yeah, I mean, I don't know when you went over there, but
I wasn't in Iraq, but
Afghanistan.
No, I was in Kuwait.
Oh yeah, Kuwait.
So when where were you at? If you don't mind saying, was it?
Yeah, it was Camp Slayer and Camp Victory. So Camp Victory is like this big, massive base complex in Baghdad in the green zone. Yeah,
I would expect something like the Air Force to have that, because that sounds so like that sounds like country club, especially when you're deployed. We didn't have doo-doo in Kuwait. It was Oh no, we did have a couple of really cool things. It's just the job I was in just on the flight line like all day. It was rough, but I'm a little jealous. A little jealous. I'm upset I never got to go. Yeah, I passed by a Space Force base when I was in Colorado selling that card. They made Buckley. It was an Air Force base. They changed it to a Space Force base. So I thought that was really cool.
All right, here. Maybe we can pivot a little bit. I know you talk a little bit about Earth 2 related content, and I don't know much about Earth 2. Can you just tell us what that is and what makes you bullish on that?
Yeah, sure. So what I like about both VeVe and Earth 2 is that both of their developers, they got their inspiration from Ready Player One. And the movie Ready Player One is I like it. I never read the book. I heard some people were a little upset about that they changed certain things. But in Ready Player One, like you see these characters, but they're not actually those characters. Like they are, but they don't have the personality. They're not the ones from the movie. I think they had Michael Bay, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in there, which was really fun. But something similar, even if they don't get the licenses, Earth 2 to get all these characters in there. If anyone remembers like SmackDown versus Raw, like 2006, where you can create your own characters, you can tell like, oh, this is Mario, this is Luigi, this is Wario, this is Michael Myers, this is so you could create pretty much what you'll be able to create what you want. But the thing it has over even VeVeverse and Decentraland, My Neighbor Alice, and V Park, Upland, all this, the Sandbox, is that all the other metaverses are within its own, very centralized within its own thing. But Earth 2 is actually a one-to-one map for Earth. And the trailer that they have and everything that they're doing, they said the end goal is to have better graphics than Red Dead Redemption 2. And part of the trailers, they look really, really cool. They look really good. The developer team, I like the main guy. Well, the main marketing guy is Dylan Seo. He was the guy that helped did the marketing for the Oculus Rift when that first came out. So he's got, they needed a name and they got him attached for it. So I really like that because I have an Oculus over there. I haven't used it that much yet. But I like the ideas of being able to buy Statue of Liberty, Pyramids of Giza, all of these, wonders of the world. And it's only in one language right now, same as VeVe. You're going to be able to, at first, get resources, and it's going to be similar to, I guess, Settlers of Catan, get all these resources. You're going to use those resources to build whatever you want as far as buildings, as far as, main events. I want to have like a cell ring, like game arena from Dragon Ball Z. Really, the creativity is what limits us. Like that's it. You're only limited to what you can think of, kind of like having a Green Lantern ring in virtual reality. And there was even a woman on MSNBC that was talking about making an ETF specifically for virtual real estate, mentioning Earth 2, Decentraland, all this stuff. And I think we had a place on Decentraland sell for what, like $750,000, give or take.
Yeah.
And we had Statue of Liberty in Earth 2 just be bought for $65,000. There's these 3 people from South Korea that have a YouTube channel now that I don't even have that much in there. I spent like maybe 13 grand in it total, and because they don't have the crypto yet. They don't have the S. They don't. It's still in phase 1 of the game. They're slowly getting into phase 2, but the end goal would be like a Ready Player One type of virtual reality. And I mean, even if I wouldn't be able to make money, which I'm pretty sure I would be able to, just by renting out your land and all that, it just seems like a fun game. It just seems something that I would like to explore. Yeah.
So, I watch your content, and every now and then I'll see someone say like, "Oh, Earth 2 is a scam."
Yeah.
And when I search for Earth 2 on YouTube, just to learn more a little bit about it, it's like, why Earth 2 is a scam. Why does everyone say that, talk like that about Earth 2?
So there is the videos are very, very well made. Like if you go into it blind and you just see these videos that say they had a period of hypergrowth in like December. It went viral on TikTok, and you couldn't like get on. You couldn't even sign on because the servers were so overloaded. It took them a while, but they fixed it. And then, so a lot of the videos mentioned like you can barely sign on, and a lot of videos mentioned that you can't get money out. Where back in like January, when people couldn't sign on, and there's like, I just want to get my money out, and they couldn't because they couldn't even sign on. you could originally go in with PayPal and put in money that way. So people were starting to think, okay, this is kind of like this might be a scam. I don't know what this is. Is this like a rug pull? So a lot of people, or enough people, called PayPal and said like, hey, I think this is a scam. Can you like get my money back? Because I can't get it right now. I can't even log on. They said, yeah, sure. And enough people said that, where PayPal has a rule. They say, listen, enough people complained. We have to hold all of these funds for 180 days, you know, do an investigation, whatever. It's over. It's fine that that money was released, but they still gave everyone their money back. They just couldn't do it with PayPal. They had to do it with credit card withdrawals, or they gave an Earth-2 credit card, or they have this card called Revolut. They could give the money that way, but they couldn't do it with PayPal. So, and it was really complicated to try to do it at first. So everyone mentions what happened in January in the videos now in the last like month or so, saying, okay, well, you can't log on, you can't get your money out. The tiles are made from Mapbox. And so you're really buying, like, it is the same arguments I heard against NBA Top Shot or against NFTs. Like, it's virtual. Like, you don't really own this land. And to their credit, yeah, I mean, they are on the blockchain, so you do exactly see who's owning it. But you have the videos are just well made, like all of these attacks on old information. And then that's why. And they also say that the technology isn't there for Ready Player One. And the narrative kind of changed a little bit from it's a scam to, well, it might be a game, but it's just going to suck because the technology's not there for it. So I think slowly but surely they'll change it. Like, oh, okay, well now Phase 2's out. Now it's yeah, it's a game, but I don't like it because it's not what they promised. Well, they didn't promise Ready Player One right away. Phase 3, which will be probably in a couple of years, will forever be updated. Always, every couple months, every time they get a new update, as the graphics get better. But that is the end goal, and maybe they don't even hit it. Maybe they don't hit that Ready Player One type of thing, or maybe they do. Either way, we're going to have a pretty cool game, things that we can do in virtual reality, with better graphics than Decentraland and anyone else. So
do you think? Yeah. Do you think that when the VeVeverse comes out, that we're going to have some haters that say like, "Oh my gosh, this sucks. It's a scam." Do you think we're going to have the same sort of dialogue like that about the VeVeverse?
I think as time goes on, those voices will get less and less. Like I see some people that always say that still say like this is a scam, it's a rug pull. There's no utility for the token, and that maybe they bought at a penny. Like I don't know who this guy is, Christopher. It's Christopher, but he always says like, oh yeah, like you lost like 80% of your money. Like this is how, like, follow Randy Chavez to learn how to vaporize your money. I was like, well, because I started buying at 0.008, and I started buying Bitcoin at like 55,000, and I bought all the way up, and then it went all the way down. Thankfully, due to dollar cost averaging, I am actually up, for this year. But some people that expect these, short-term gratification, and they're not, real investors, they get burned a little bit. They buy up here and then they sell down here. It's like, okay, what did you expect? But I think as time goes on, those voices will become less and less because we just have more that we have. But there'll be some people that don't like it just because some people just want to complain. Too bad for them. That's it.
Well, is there anything you want to say just before we take some community questions?
Yeah. So how often do you have to think about the openings of your videos? Like, do you sit down, like take a couple hours and write a script? You're just like, this is what I'm going to do today, and you just come up with it on the spot?
Yeah. I'm not much of a planner, so sometimes I'll wake up and I'll think of something. I'm like, oh man, that'll be really funny. I'll just do that. And then sometimes my execution sucks, but I have a brilliant idea. So I usually don't spend a whole lot of time. It just I'm not much of a planner like that. I'm more spontaneous. So sometimes you see my intros, they're like really hit or miss. Some are like really cringy because I suck at the execution, and some are okay. So.
I thoroughly enjoy that as well. I think you're hella funny. Excuse me. I think it's great. One thing I did want to bring up though, I posted, it was floating around on Facebook. So I screenshotted it. I posted it to my YouTube without verifying it, but it is verified now. Medium.com/Akomi says, don't forget, San Diego Comic-Con is now less than 1 month away. This at-home virtual event brings together the biggest names in entertainment and pop culture. And of course, VeVe will be releasing some exclusive collectibles to celebrate. So you heard it here first. VeVe is going to release exclusive collectibles in, okay, where'd it go? At San Diego Comic-Con. So I'm very excited about that.
Is that on Medium?
Yeah. Okay. That's an official site, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I didn't want to be reporting fake news here. Yeah,
you know,
so
I think you're the first one to talk about that. I mean, I am subscribed to most of the YouTubers, so I don't think anyone's really reported that. I'm sure Cavell might do a video here. In like 30 minutes, we'll see a Cavell video reporting it. But I think you're the first, man.
He might be using this like, oh, just reported on Dan Lee and the Real Randy Chavez. It's like, yeah, he's great. He's awesome.
Yeah.
The man never sleeps.
What do you think is going to be out? You know, this is all speculation, but do you have any thoughts on what the next exclusive collectible will be for Comic-Con? I feel like that's an introduction to the masses, right? You know?
Yeah. I would like, I mean, I'm trying to think of what things would come out around San Diego Comic-Con or what movies are coming out. A lot of people are hoping Marvel, but even though, again, I love Marvel, I would hope that it would be something that they announced already. Like, again, at Comic-Con, maybe it would be a Star Trek. Because we have 3 of them. We have Pickard, The Next Generation, So I would like to see that, maybe Jurassic Park, that type of deal, or maybe some announcements that we don't know we have yet. Like, we don't know we have Lord of the Rings. We don't know we have, Star Wars. But oh my God, that. So maybe they have both. Maybe they have that VeVe collectible that is going to be like a Star Trek or a Jurassic Park, and then an announcement as well that they partnered with other places. So I can't wait. That's also why I wanted to buy as much OMI as I could as quickly as possible, because I want to do that before San Diego Comic-Con. So
yeah. I mean, this Comic-Con is actually the first major event that's going to kickstart a lot of other events. You know, we have the Comic-Con coming up, the Immutable Migration, a Marvel drop somewhere down the line, exchanges, VeVeverse. So this is one of the first major things. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, I actually, I won't do it this year for Dragon Con, but maybe next year I was thinking about, or even at some point, people have been asking me like, all right, when are, because a lot of people are saying like at 50 cents, I think there's going to be a OMI party in Vegas. And everyone's like, it's too far away. Let's have like a 10-cent party, like a 5-cent party. And I think we're doing a 10-cent party in New York City. Orion Crypto Trader, I think, was going to be there. And then a bunch of people that are on my channel. So if you want to do that, we could do that. But also at like a con, I want to make like a VeVe con, like a con specifically for VeVe, or at least get a booth at like Dragon Con. So like, hey, this is all the VeVe collectibles I have. This is all the OMI I have, things that we can do. Hopefully the VeVeverse will be open by then. I want to do the same thing for Earth 2 also, but saying that if you can't go, you can go in virtual reality or online, hopefully. Have it that way.
So when OMI hits 10 cents, how much money will you have with the, let's just say the amount of OMI you have now? Do you know how much?
That'd be about $6 million, about $6 million. Because, well, no, right? Yeah, no, because it's 60 million, and then 10 cents would be $6 million. So,
yeah, you definitely need to host Comic-Con. I mean, you'll probably be one of the richest people. In terms of in terms of OMI. And again, I guess I don't really recommend doing what I wouldn't have gotten the money that, again, I started in 2017 with $3,000 after I got out of the military and started that Chavez trading company. I wouldn't have gotten where I am unless I went all in on all of these projects. And again, like even right now, like the room I was in beforehand, like before I got this apartment, was literally a room, no bed, no air conditioner, no kitchen. I shared a bathroom with this like 15-year-old girl where makeup was everywhere. There's hair dye everywhere. It was awful. At least this place I have my own bathroom, but I go to the extremes. Like same thing. No air conditioning, no bed, just have a mattress, and putting everything I have into these investments. Again, I don't know if I really recommend it, especially to the uninitiated that have never been deployed in this heat and in sleeping on a cot. It could be bad for them.
But yeah, I'm pretty minimalist. I don't like, again, I don't really. Okay, if it is, I think 1.8 cents, I think I'm a millionaire. I'm still gonna wear t-shirts and sweatpants everywhere I go. Like, so I'm not really gonna change. But yeah, the party will be fun. I'll be bougie at the party.
Okay, awesome. So let's just take some questions here. I think Omi Queen has made a comment here. I think she's one of your fans. Randy likes watching those 90s classics. Wonder if he remembers Stickly. I don't
do
know what
not
you're talking
remember.
about.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
Was that on like PBS? Like, was that on like the? Because um, so I'll get to that in a second. I was a big Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon guy. I did watch PBS when I was at my grandma's because she didn't have cable. Thomas the Tank Engine, and I saw this YouTube video recently. If you're under 18, don't watch it. It's called Thomas the Tank Engine Did Nothing Wrong, or Thomas the Tank Engine Nuremberg Trials. Like, it's really hard, but he was just doing his job. It was really hardcore.
Is it on YouTube or is it?
It's on you. Actually, let me just find the title so you know what the
I gotta
actual.
find that. That sounds hilarious.
It is just called Thomas Was Only Following Orders. that's the title of the video. It's only a minute 19 seconds long, so definitely go with. But I do not remember Stickly.
Okay. All right. Let's see. We did have a donation from Yanette Ortega. No question though.
Was Yanette Ortega? Was she ever on TV? I feel like I know that face. But yes, thank you, Yanette. We love you, and recognize you from some. Oh, I know who you look like. You look like that. There's a person that covers Tesla. I forget her name. Analyst covers Tesla. I don't know her name. I'll just put girl. I'll find out at some point. No, it's not Kathy Wood. I'll let you guys know. Next question. What we got?
Okay, a legit question.
Mm-hmm.
Now we see a lot of regulations throughout many countries against exchanges who offer cryptocurrencies, and we see ECB are coming soon with their own digital euro. Is this positive long term?
I mean, I expected it to be a fight, of course, because you have these countries that only have power because they control the money, and nothing will change. Like, the U.S. is probably going to come out with a digital dollar. Obviously, the euro is coming with a digital euro. It's not going to make any difference because it goes from the Federal Reserve printing dollars to whoever's in charge of the U.S. Digital dollar minting more U.S. digital dollars. Same thing with euro. So that they'll try, and again, the fights will be had, but a lot of fight will probably come from the U.S. and maybe the IMF and National Monetary Fund, but Bitcoin and crypto, yeah, to the moon. They can't. They can only slow down the inevitable. They cannot stop it.
Yeah, I definitely don't see that as being against Bitcoin or crypto in general. I mean, with regulation, I think we won't see any more like rug pull tokens or just scam tokens anymore. You know, only probably legit projects. But that's just my thoughts there.
I don't know what you were eating today, but I had an MRE this morning, and
what is that? Mexican chicken?
Mexican style chicken. This is the worst MRE that I've ever had, and I've tasted some very bad MREs. Like, it just wasn't good. I mean, I still have the cheese spread in here, and I still have the peanuts that I guess I can eat, the M&M chocolate peanuts. But yeah, I like most of those MREs, but that one straight up did not like.
Do you remember the it was like a breakfast omelet MRE? I don't know if they make that anymore. It was horrible. I don't know if you ever had the pleasure.
I don't think I did. I like breakfast food, but yeah, I don't.
I do too, but it was just bad. Let's see if we got any questions. So are you thinking the 10-cent party is going to be in New York?
Well, I don't know about. I mean, I'll throw one. Well, I am. Last year, I threw a party for myself because I turned 30 in December, and I threw a major party. It was awesome. It's open bar. There was like chocolate fountain. Like, it's gonna be the same thing this year but bigger. It's gonna be chocolate fountains, food bar, ice cream bar. It's gonna be epic. I was also on some Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. So I had a great time. Probably do that. I'm going to do that this year again for my party, but because I'll probably be in Florida next year. So if we do a party, I'll have to fly back up here for it. But that'll be fine. I like New York, so I'll do that. And you're over in the Central Time, right?
Yeah, I live in Oklahoma. I don't think we should have a 10-cent party here. Actually, Kyle Wilson here, he lives really close to me. So I live in Jinx, which is like a small town close to Tulsa, Oklahoma, and he lives in Broken Arrow, kind of in the Tulsa area too. So I don't think we'd have a party here though in Oklahoma and Tulsa.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people like the New York destination, Vegas destination.
Yeah,
just because a lot of good times, a lot of parties there.
I mean, if we did it in New York, a lot of the London people could probably come over here. You know,
oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
that'd be great. I think Orion Crypto Traders in like Maryland or something said he would drive up. I would just have a bunch. Should we have we should probably have like a rule, like no kids rule. Should we bring our spouses? Yeah, I think we have to. Right?
You have to. Yeah, community.
Or else not get really crazy. We need them.
We got a question here from Daddy Dollars. What's up, Randy and Dan Lee? I'm interested in knowing what Randy is more bullish on, OMI or Earth 2, and which he is more invested in.
Shout out to Daddy Dollars. He is the first person to ever get a real Randy Chavez tattoo.
Is this the guy?
Yeah, this is him.
What?
Yeah, he's a homie of mine. He's at each other on Instagram. He's a good dude. But right now, I think the safest thing is probably OMI, because it's safer. It's got a lot of traction. But I do think, as far as potential goes, Earth 2 might have more potential because the crypto is not out yet. Like, imagine buying OMI at 0.00003. It's already increased like 100x since then. Where the Earth 2 crypto, when it comes out, we have the potential of getting it right there before it explodes. So I think that there's more potential with Earth 2 potentially, but OMI is definitely safer. And again, I've only put 13K into Earth 2. I put 10 times that into OMI, but I do have some money saved for when Earth 2 crypto drops. So,
we lost him. Let's see if we can get him back here. There we go.
Yeah, we go. So I don't know if that really answers the question. I kind of play both sides of the fence there, but that's kind of my opinion on that. I'm still very bullish on Earth 2. Going to spend another 10 figures when that 5 figures, another 10K 5 figures when that comes out. So we shall see.
Got one from Mark Miller. 2 questions, I think. How safe is it to keep your tokens in Bitforex?
I don't know. I keep everything in my Trust wallet. And I don't know what we're going to have to do when we get to that immutable X upgrade and we're on the Ethereum blockchain. I guess we have to maybe give our OMI to them, and then they change it, and then they give it back to us.
Yeah, I don't really know either. I don't think they've talked about it too much. There's really a lot of speculation.
Yeah.
Honestly, what I do is I like Trust Wallet because it's free and it's pretty safe. But I keep a little bit in the exchange in case I need to trade or something, and then I keep the rest of it in Trust Wallet right now. So I divided up a little bit.
How did you feel when you woke up the other morning and you had 0 OMI in your wallet?
I didn't see that, but I did a transfer and I didn't see the transfer. So that was a little irritating. And then luckily, I think I saw Cavell video. So he told me what to do. He told me to restart my phone.
Yeah. So actually he used my my screenshot in there, and he's like, "Oh, the legend Randy Chavez." I was like, "Oh my God, he shouted me out. Like, it's so great." He's really cool. I woke up, I was like, remember that part in The Witcher? I don't know if you saw it, where he has to like fight like these 8 dudes. Like, that's exactly what I whispered. I was like, so I didn't know what happened, and then I went to Twitter, and thank God they were calming me down over there. So I'm like, "Oh yeah, just restart your phone, just do whatever." I was like, "Okay, cool. Oh, we're good. We're fine. This is fine."
All right, I lost my place here. Let me try to find it. Oh, Tap says spaghetti MREs are the bomb.
Yeah, I like spaghetti MREs. I think my favorite one is a vegetarian tortellini. That has really good sides, and the tortellini tastes pretty good. So, yeah, that's some of my favorites as well. Omi is my last bet.
Go ahead, take it.
Omi is my last bet to pay for my hair transplant to the moon. Same. I've got I try to hide it as best I can, but yeah, I'm getting hair done next year, getting the teeth fixed next year. I'm gonna look so fucking hot.
Elon Musk has had hair transplants. Have you seen that video of him like back in the day? He looks aged. It's like, where did this? Anyways, I guess money. You can buy anything with money.
Yes, can't wait. I guess he wants a Tulsa party.
It would just be us two, maybe 2 or 3 other people. I don't know.
Sammy has this question: do you think VeVe will make the interoperability work both ways, i.e., non-VeVe NFTs? They even said that it would be pretty boring if the only thing you could do is just look at your NFTs on our site in the showroom. So they do want to do cross-platform. I do think they will cross-platform with Earth 2 eventually later this decade, but I see them definitely going cross-platform with maybe like Decentraland or Minecraft with other things. It'll definitely work both ways. Other things on our, because again they want that utility. They want the traffic to go both ways. Because if you can, let's say if you have these diehard collectors fans of one company that only play with that, but then you could play them on this new medium, well, you bring in new people from that new medium. So, yeah.
Okay, I finally found some questions here. Do we answer that?
Stretch real quick. Oh yeah, it's gonna stretch those hips. Ugh.
Hello, Kay said Kathy Wood in regards to the.
No, it wasn't her. It wasn't. Let me hang on one second here. All right.
She doesn't look like Kathy Wood.
Girl, that covers Tesla. She is. Oh man, this is gonna be. I'm getting some raunchy photos here. Analyst. No, it's not Woodcock. I will remember her name. Analyst girl.
Is she pretty?
Yeah. So it is a compliment.
Okay, that's good. Yeah,
it is definitely a compliment. Yeah, I'm not gonna find this. I'll look for it eventually, and then Yannette, give me a follow, and I will totally show you exactly what I'm talking about in one of my future videos. But yes, it is positive.
Matthew says, I live near Butt Thompson, but I'm afraid to meet up with him for lunch because his hair is crazy. He's kind of a crazy dude anyways, actually. You know?
Yeah. He's fun though, but I mean, crazy hair. Whoosh. I woke up, my hips were hurting this morning, so I didn't run. So I haven't showered yet. So my hair is looking all types of crazy. So I hope that helps.
Robles says, Robles kind of famous, isn't he? Isn't he? I've seen him on Twitter quite a bit. The price of a party in Oklahoma would be dope. Yeah, it would be like the biggest thing of the year for us, honestly.
Let's do it then. Let's have a 20-cent party in Oklahoma. Like we have to have reasons to celebrate, because like even 15 cents, like I don't care. Let's go. Again, it hits 10 cents. A lot. Many people that even have a million OMI are 100,000-aires at that point. You know, so let's get this bread. Let's do it. I can't wait. I can't wait to meet up with everyone and just.
It's going to happen sooner than we think. I believe.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it'll happen sooner than later, rather than later. JP, your buddy here, says buy more OMI. That's all. Thank you, JP, for the donation there.
He's the guy. He's the guy that's got more than double the amount of OMI I have. He's got 137 million. He is a whale. He is a. I'm number 295, I think, as far as OMI wallets. He's number like 195. Like he's in top 200. That's insane. that's just bananas. But yeah, so JP, I did listen to you. I got several thousand more dollars worth this morning. You got 60 million. So I'm getting there, JP. Slowly but steady. Yeah, I'll keep you all posted on what I'm gonna do.
Dennis donated and said, invest in chillsocios.com CHC. Thank you for the donation. I've heard about Chills, but I don't know I haven't really looked too much into it.
Chiliz Socios is I don't even think I've heard of them either. They announced their first premier club for, doesn't say, are they in football? Football, they're no, European football. I don't know. I will look into them post haste, Dennis Smelkow, and I will get back to you on another stream. But again, if I've said that if, let's say when this does reach $1 and it reaches $1, well, let's say by end of 2024 and it's ahead of my prediction of 2026, I think at that time I would start to sell a little bit, because then if I think it goes to $3 by 2030, then it's only a 3x in 4 years. Where I imagine at that point you'll have some other things that it could be, 5x in 3 years instead of 3x in 4 years, that type of deal. What's Hello K's question?
Hello K says, how did you manage taxes for selling physical collectibles? I heard you were selling Pokemon cards previously. Have you consulted anyone about NFT taxation?
So we got, I just get effed in taxes every year. It was easier the last couple of years because it was what comes in is income and what goes out is debt. Like what comes in is revenue, what comes out is expenses. And that's how it is for business owners anyway. So as far as individuals, I don't know, but I was able to offset a lot of my gains and thankfully only paid I think $10,000, this year for last year's. But now that I'm not giving out any money, from a higher scaling business, I'm not really buying any more Pokemon cards. I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to pay like 80 grand next year. I'm going to, it's going to be rough. But if I go and I don't know if I can use that thing saying I traded this in and I bought another asset with it. I bought another crypto. I bought, another whatever. I don't know if they could use that because it is under the business name. It's mostly under the Chavez Trading Company. A little bit is under the Chavez Canto project. So maybe that could be an excuse. Best thing I could do is just, pay your taxes, talk to an accountant. I haven't talked to my accountant yet, though. I'm just going to eat that bullet when it comes next year.
I mean, can't you deduct some of that? I mean, if you do it under your business, or even if you just did it as an individual, I'm sure there's a lot of deductions you can.
Yeah, and that's what I did. Anything that left my account was considered an expense. But since I retired and I'm not really running the business, it's still under the business. But I don't know exactly. how it'll go. So
yeah, definitely talk to a tax guy. Not financial advice.
Yeah, not financial advice. Never.
Taps Trade says, how many VeVe collectibles does Randy own?
It's not a lot. It is 11, but out of that 11, I have 2 of the same one. So I have 2 ghost traps, and what? I have 2. Yeah, so I got a ghost trap on the. I was lucky. I again, all my youth was playing Super Mario, Mario Party and Skateboard Scamper. We're just I have some of the fastest fingers in the goddamn West. So as soon as it clicked, it went buy now, boom, buy now, and I got it, number 901. And then I did a calculated risk where I saw, okay, well, there's 1,750 of those ghost traps, right? Okay, so at 1,750, figure 10% of those are the top 10%, kind of like Joey and his Rattata. He wants the top percentage of Rattata. This guy, I want the top 10% of the ghost trap. So I saw one, number 170 for $1,500, and I bought it. So that is how I got 2 ghost traps. So I have Death. I have Batman. I don't even know which one this is. It's not. It's like a common one, I think. Whatever Batman that is. Look at that. I have the Ice King from what's that called? Adventure Time. Again, I have 2 of the Harley Quinn Deluxe. I have Superman. Bought that for 115. I think that's at 380 now. I have a common DeLorean. I have an Ultraman poster, and I have a little Nessie, like a little Loch Ness Monster guy. So I don't really go. The only sets I have is the Superman. That's one set, and then I have Death and Harley Quinn. That's the other set. So 9 individual unique ones, 11 total. 2 are Ghost Trap, 2 are Harley Quinn. Yeah, your reaction to the 2 Ghost Trap, you're like, what?
Well, I mean, I was trying to get it because I thought it was awesome, but I mean, I have poor reflexes, I guess. But
I think that is going to be very historic. The first one that makes noise, interacts with something else. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, we got a hard question for Hard Life. You can say it if you would like.
Okay. On what basis are all these price predictions made, when in reality, no one has a clue what the VeVeverse will actually be? In the end, that will be all that matters. Honestly interested. So I don't think that's all that matters. Again, I got into this mostly just because it's disruptive in digital collectibles. It's disruptive in art. And the fact that you're able to bring, again, they're first to market with this. I went mostly, or not mostly, I went in pretty hard, not really knowing anything about the VeVeverse. And then that's really only been over the past couple months that they have kind of introduced it and talked about it a little bit. But that being said, the thesis doesn't change in the fact that they have a lot of growth to go, and wherever they decide to end up this year, I think they do double in growth between the end of this year and the end of next year. And after that doubling, I think it'll grow about 50% each year. And again, it is just speculation. Again, I do like to be a little bit conservative, even though a lot of these people, for these major companies that are in the stock market, 50% growth is insane. Nobody sees that in the stock market because they're already worth hundreds of billions of dollars. But for this, it's such a big emerging market. There's so much money to be made. And I was watching Poor Man Printing's video last night where Jeff Bezos, in an interview in like 97 or 98, says like, yeah, people that use the internet each year, it grows by like 2,100%. I was like, well, that's a lot. And Gary Vee mentions NFTs and virtual reality as like internet 2.0. So going all in, I think this has a lot of room to grow, and that's why I think such an aggressive timeline and an aggressive bounce. Because again, we were already at a penny before Bitcoin crashed, and after that, we've had so much big positive catalyst, but the price kept going down. So I believe when the price does go back up, it's going to be violent because you have so many months worth of positive catalysts are going to be packed into, like 1 month. It's going to be insane. Just my opinion. What about you? You got a retort on that?
Yeah, honestly, like with all these price prediction videos, I've probably seen almost all of them. And, they're kind of like opinions, and opinions are like buttholes, right? Everyone has one. So fundamentally, there's nothing really concrete driving these price predictions. To me, the best way to evaluate a business, evaluate a project, is based off of cash flow. And if we don't have those numbers, it's really hard to make a real projection. So, I mean, you're kind of right. We're just kind of speculating and we're guessing, but I think if you average them all out, I think we can come to a pretty decent price prediction, somewhere close, like a ballpark. But, really a lot of these price predictions aren't worth much. I mean, I think Cavell did a video where he says that technical analysis proves that OMI will be $10. And that's funny to me because, technical analysis is very short term. So it's impossible to make long-term predictions off that. But, they're fun to do and people enjoy watching content like that. So
yeah. That'd be fun. Like, this is why I can go to $20. Like, to make a video like that just for the views.
I mean, what I've noticed too is like for Bitcoin, for example, the lower Bitcoin goes, the more crazy you see the price predictions are. It's like, oh, Bitcoin's going to be 1 million in 10 years or whatever. And
well, I do think that. I really do.
I do think that too, but it's just people do that mostly for like clicks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Views. Yeah. But anyways. Yeah. Let's see here. This is an interesting question here. Alex, Randy, would you consider renouncing your U.S. citizenship and moving to tax haven if it meant paying no taxes or profits on your 69 million OMI at $1? I hear Dubai is very nice.
I would have to at that point see if there is a way that if there was people that I could trust to run my animal sanctuary in the U.S. and people I could trust to continuously run the charity that I set up and whatever, and it could live without me, maybe. But kind of like, well, why do business owners always kind of complain about their employees? Because the employees don't own the business. No one's going to put in as much work for your business as you're going to. So I think that'd be very hard. Even if it doesn't run at 100% efficiency, even if the animal sanctuary only runs at 85% efficiency. Well, you can make the argument that it's still worth it to leave, announce citizenship, never come back, because let's say 15% taxes on 69 million. Oh, that's so much. Yeah, it's probably worth it to do that, as like a grand scheme type of thing. But I just, then also, again, from Daddy Dollars and other people that might tattoo their name, I don't want people to associate, if people that associate me, I don't want them to be called like bad upon just because I'm doing something that some people would find not good. Like people saying that Daddy Dollars, like, oh yeah, you got a criminal on your arm. How we feel about him now? Evading taxes. Even though I think taxes mostly go to not good things, or they're wasted. I don't know. I think I'm a little bit too much of a beta male to try to do that. I don't think I would have that. You're definitely making me think about it now. I have had many people, I think including yourself, invite me to Dubai. You, Investor Ali, a bunch of other people. Said when OMI goes to a certain amount, they're going to invite me to Dubai. So I'll let you know. I'll keep you guys posted. Like 100% honesty here. So.
I mean, you know what I would do? I mean, I would never leave the U.S. I mean, I'm just too much of a son of America, to ever leave. But I mean, all I would do is just get a loan, loan
That's
on
true.
your assets and just use that to live on, and then you don't have to pay taxes on a loan.
Yeah,
and then
that's
you
true.
Still have OMI growing theoretically.
Yeah. I mean, the issue is that in order to fill out a lot of these philanthropic goals, is I do have to sell. I don't have. Or I guess like what you're saying is sell and then borrow against your remaining OMI, so you don't. Yeah, that's a good idea. We should talk. We should. Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. I could definitely see that type of thing working.
I want to see. Is this the girl? I'm going to test out a feature here on the stream. So let's see here. I want to try to share a picture if I can. Is it this lady?
No.
Oh,
it is. Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh wait, hang on one sec. Is it? I don't think this is it. Is it? No. Right, I thought it was. Oh man, I forget her name. I'll find it at some point, and I will let Yannette know, and we'll go from there.
Okay, we got another endorsement for Chiliz. We have from Dennis. Chill, thank you for the €5. Chiliz is a big fan project. They signed Celtics, 76ers, UFC in USA. In Europe, they have Barcelona and other big teams.
Okay, yeah. So I did see them having those football teams, which are great. And then I guess there's some basketball too, so that's pretty cool. So you're definitely gonna get a lot of the the dads on board, the sports dads, the Chads, people that are in there that just like that, which are great. It's fun, and especially a lot of Europe. So you'll grab a lot of the European market. I still, again, not knowing anything about their business, I would still say that OMI's probably, because they have NFL and MLB, which can kind of compete a little bit with a lot of the other sports. Obviously, European soccer is so huge, like it's world renowned. But so is Hello Kitty, and so is Pikachu, and so is it. So I would still go with OMI. And right now, again, if I find something, in a few years that, let's say OMI, I think can only 5x or 8x, and something else can 20x, then I'll go and switch. But for right now, yeah, OMI is my homie. Not leaving OMI.
Why don't you take this question?
Dan Reese says, "Hey guys, a lot of big movement forward for the token, either at Comic-Con or after. Do you think this will be the case, and why?" I think it's largely contingent on the move over to Immutable X in the Ethereum blockchain. Doesn't really matter what's announced. It's going to take exposure. And I would rather them go and say that I would rather them not advertise. I would rather them have the advertisements through us. I'd rather have, if they want to advertise, they should make, and I've told this to Earth 2 people before, they should make, try to make videos on TikTok and Instagram with the characters and the licenses and the NFTs that they have. make stories, make viral videos. You can do it when you have those characters. I don't think it would be that hard. I'm pretty sure I could do it. And that could be your advertising. Like that's free. So I would say do that, because I would rather that type of, the rest of that money that would go in for advertising, I'd rather that go into like R&D for frugality and the VeVeverse. I'd just rather it go there. But either way, it's going to be when we get on exchanges, in my opinion. Also, Tasha Keeney was her name. I will show you a picture. Right. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see her. This is her picture. Can you put that up again? I don't know why we're spending so much time on this.
Look.
Yeah. Same haircut.
It's the same person.
Yeah. Actually,
like,
you're right. That looks, her facial structure, eyebrows are very similar.
Like, what was that scene in The Office where like the corporate wants you to find the differences between these two pictures? They're the same picture. Like that. That's it.
I can't believe we spent so much time talking about that, but it's I had to know who you were talking about. Anyways.
Yeah. I thought I was thinking like Sasha Cohen, and then Sacha Baron Cohen came out. I was like, oh, that's not it at all. But yeah, so it's Tasha Keeney. I was like, ah.
All right, Godmaster Ryan, hate.
Haters gonna hate. I'm just gonna shake. Yeah, haters gonna hate. That's what they're gonna do. Shake it on.
All right. Well, I mean, we're kind of coming to the end of the stream. I don't know if you guys have any other questions, but hey, Randy, where can we get a hold of you?
I guess the Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Be advised, every once in a while, mostly when I wake up, and I have like, I don't know, like 100 notifications, and it just takes me a while to go through. But yeah, I commenting on YouTube, I try to keep up with the most. If you want to really be a super fan, I have a friends and family tier on my Patreon. That's it's $100. If it goes through, you get a cell phone that you can text anytime. Where anytime you need, you give me a text, I'll answer that right away. Unless I'm on a run, that I'll keep that cell phone with me even at the gym.
So wait. So it's $100 a month, and you get the privilege of texting you, or is it one time?
Texting me anytime. I have a because if it's something that you need something like really quickly, my advice about, I have one person. The guy's name is Rayfax. He is on the family and friends tier. He's the only one that has it so far. I know that eventually, if I get bigger, especially I'll probably have to stop that and be like, I'll grandfather everyone in, or I'll have to raise the price like $1,000 a month or whatever. But yeah.
Well, so I'm always afraid that if I did something like that, which I don't think I will right now, but aren't you afraid like someone's gonna just send you like a dick pic or something for like $100 a month? They'll just send you unlimited dick pics.
If that's what they want to do, they could. They could give me another $100 and I'll rate it for them. I'll be like, well, on a scale of 1 to 10, like, I'm a man of business, so I can strike a deal. I actually had a competition once with this girl I was dating, Jill, where at the time I was pretty cut. I had like the square jaw. I had like, really good chin line, good jawline, and I was feeling like really cocky. I was like, I bet I get more nudes than you. She's like, okay, heckin' bet. And she got like 20 something dick pics in literally like under an hour. And I was like, oh my God. And I had like 3 like that day. I was like, oh my God, this is, yeah. So it was girls are, I feel so bad for girls, but yeah. So they're able to text anything that they want. In case they have a question they want to answer really quickly. And sometimes my YouTube, like the comments, I think I was decent this morning, or I might not have been. Let's see what the last comment was, how long ago it was. 5 hours. Yeah, so I'm about 5 hours behind. George17 was the last person to comment. And so I was so if you don't want to wait 5, 8, sometimes it go 12 hours. Or if I'm in the Poconos with Danielle, girlfriend, where I have like no internet, well, I don't answer for a couple of days. But mostly, have me on Twitter. I'll see it eventually. Instagram, Facebook, yeah, all that jazz.
Cryptomaniac's here. That's awesome to have him over here. When Dirty Daniel.
Is that a SpongeBob reference? Dirty Dan.
It's I think he's referencing one of my characters I do in like my intros, which is based off of like Filthy Frank, but I don't know. People hated that a lot. So
what was it? Can you do it? I want to see.
I think I had like a Chinaman hat, and I just kind of had this goofy accent.
Oh yeah, I did see that. That was great.
People either hate it or they love it. It's just kind of hit or miss, you know.
It's like my singing and my meowing at the end of my videos. People like hated it at first, but then some people are like, no, do it, keep doing it. I was like, okay, well, I'll do it for the people that like it. And now like a lot of people expect it. Like, oh.
Yeah. Well, because I stopped doing intros for a while because I would get a lot of hate. Like Wes, he's one of your fans, right? He hated those intros.
Oh, really?
He'd be like, the video's good, but the intros are cringe. And so I kind of stopped doing a few of them, but then some of the other YouTubers were like, you got to keep doing it.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah,
they're really fun.
But
like I did one the other day where I talked about, I was so excited. Like Taps Trades, he uploaded a video like as I was in the gym. So I was like, oh, I can't wait to go and listen to this on the way home. So I listened to some of it on the way home, and I saw a comment on his page, Amy Johnson softball. I remember you because I compare you to Amy Jo Johnson, the Pink Power Ranger. Likes the intro. Somebody had commented like, if you think that VeVeverse is going to allow gambling, like I feel sorry for you, like just being really mean. I was like, and so I go home and I rush home and I make a video about how there's going to be gambling in the VeVeverse, and like literally after I go and do my whole Patreon member shout out thing, I lean over to go and put that down, and then I go like I just let one rip. I just farted like a.
Oh, I remember that video. It was recently.
Yeah, it was the other day. And I thought to myself, like, you know, it's only like 30 seconds. I could restart this video. And I was like, no, I was gonna leave it in. I've come too far. Yeah, Basilio said, don't listen to the morons, don't listen to the haters. David Rosen's mom saying the C and B pattern on the price charts was hilarious. Oh yeah, that I saw that too. There's B. He's saying like, oh, it's going up here and then it's going down. So let's make a drawing up. Yeah, I thought that was pretty fun. Yeah, I would love gambling inside the VeVeverse. That would be. And if anyone hasn't seen that video, that's one of the favorites that I've made. And there's another one.
Oh, good. Go ahead.
Oh, there's another. It doesn't really have too much to do with VeVe. I guess it does. It's the video I titled "When I Would Leave VeVe and When I Would Leave Earth 2," and it's got a picture of a Tesla Tequila bottle. It's called "My Exit Strategy for OMI Bitcoin." And it's like the first couple minutes is just like me just like bragging about myself and patting myself on the back. That was one of my favorite videos to do. That and what about you? What like some of your favorite videos that like you've loved that you've done?
I thought the cock and balls and C&B intro was pretty good. But my content's kind of forgettable. I don't really focus too much on that. For me, it's all about the intro.
All about the intro.
Yeah.
I misread that because when the C&B, I thought they were talking about something that Cavell covered a guy that was talking about. He had like, oh, here's point A, here's point B, here's point C, and the guy that was covering is like, okay, well, you see, this is going up, so we're going to draw a line up, and this is going down now, so we're going to draw a line down, and as you see, this one up and this one down, and I was like, what? Like that just made so little sense. I thought that's what they were referencing, but I guess it was the cock and balls one.
Cryptomaniac, thanks for the donation, man. Check out Cryptomaniac's channel. I watch his content. He's got some pretty good stuff, pretty good live streams. Thank you for the YouTube stream, gents.
Well, look him up right now.
Yeah, are you not subscribed to him? He's pretty good.
I guess not. I see new people on here. Oh god, I see new people on here like every day. So I'm gonna go and see. Oh yeah, looks like he uploads 1 or 2 a week. I'm gonna give that a like. I'm sorry. Can I unlike this because my like made it number 70 and I want it number 69. So I'm gonna unlike that. But I will subscribe to you though. So that is a thing that I just did. So on the shit, what was I about to say? Oh yeah, there's a guy I have, Ethan Youngberg, who is like 17 and he's into OMI and he's into all this stuff. And could you imagine getting into this at 17, even with like $1,000? even like at 17 and getting like 400,000 or 500,000 OMI, that'd be insane. It'd be like when it reaches a dollar, you have $500,000. You have that
Yeah.
before you're like 25. Nuts.
Yeah, be huge. I mean, even like I think I made a point in one of my videos a long time ago. Like even a small investment now, like in Bitcoin, for example, or even OMI, I mean, that's a potential huge payoff, like life changing money. Even a couple 100,000 is life changing money. So
yeah, no, agreed.
Okay.
But yeah, for a lot of people, even up until I started the high risk lending business, I never had more than like 25 grand in the bank. So even like 30 grand is life changing. Like that's a new car. They no longer have to be like buying these beaters. They can get a new car and have something reliable and just
Sure.
Yeah. Can't wait for my Cybertruck next year. What's one of the toys that you're gonna get when you're OMI rich? Like what's something that like you don't need but you want, you deserve?
Yeah, I'm pretty frugal. I've always been frugal most of my life. So, I mean, for me, my dream car is like a Nissan 350Z, or like I guess it's a 370Z now. That's a very like reasonable entry level sports car. But that's what I would probably buy, if I made it, me.
Yeah, those are pretty fun. I pre-ordered 2 Cybertrucks, so I might just get one though, and then I might get because I had 2 companies and it's like I wanted to lock in full self-driving for both of them at $7,000. So I got one for the Chavez Trading Company and one for the Chavez Canto project. And I figured when full self-driving is solved, I could just send those out as like Ubers or ride sharing things and just passive income. So it is still an investment technically. My friend Ario Realty, we just went to Atlantic City with him. I did a live stream on there, like an hour live stream, like how to retire in your 30s. He's got a Model 3, and it's so cool. Like when he just steps on the gas, it's like, whoa, this is like a ride. Really fun. It's really cool.
Hey, one last question here. Is Dashi a god?
Well,
in your world there, is Dashi like a lord or a minor god, minor deity?
So people had been a bunch of people started with Earth 2 that they were pissed that I shaved my beard, and they wanted a statue of me and Dashi, and they in Earth 2 they wanted my beard to lead them into gloriousness, and they wanted Dashi to be like shepherd protector. So I started doing this thing at the end of my streams, and I say, do you receive it today? I know you do. We never like to close our streams without giving you the opportunity to make Dashi the Lord of your life. And then do this whole like things like, friends, will you pray with me? We say, Lord Dashi, I repent of my sins. I ask you to come into my heart, and I make you my Lord and Savior. And then I say, like, friends, if you pray that simple prayer, we believe you got born again, and get in a good Dashi-based church and make Dashi first place. And Dashi will take you places that you never even dreamed of. So the start of it, I'm planting the seeds now. Eventually I'll try to make maybe like a Dashi coin, like a Dashi crypto. But in order to do it, I want to have like utility for it as well. I want it to be able to create NFTs. I want to be able to stake with it. It's just, I don't know anything about it. I don't have enough money yet. So,
if we ever do like the 10-cent, 50-cent party in Oklahoma, you can't do that because we're all Christian here in Oklahoma.
Oh, okay. So what I actually did was I took that from, I used to watch Joel Osteen back in the day, and at the end of he would always say, we never like to close our broadcast without giving you the opportunity to make Jesus the Lord of your life. So I memorized that for some weird reason, like his entire spiel, and I just gave that to Dashi. So you heard it here first, folks. You broke me down, and you got the origin story. But yeah, so I won't do that there. Maybe Dashi will come to the party in New York City. Maybe I'll bring Dashi. I don't know. Gonna have to have Dashi's own private security team. Dashi's got some what are those Swarovski diamonds in the eyes and the necklace. I have to I'd have to count those before I bring Dashi anywhere. But Dashi's been with me for like 4 years now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I wanted to keep it at about an hour and 30 minutes, so we're hitting that mark.
We did it.
Randy Chavez, thank you for letting me talk to you here. Check him out at his YouTube channel, The Real Randy Chavez, and he's also on Twitter, I believe, as well. So thank you guys for all your support, all your donations.
Yeah, you'll in my videos you'll have the links to Twitter, Instagram, and just YouTube. You just search Randy Chavez on Facebook, you'll find it. And yeah, so I will catch you all later. Everyone say bye to Dashi, bye Dashi. Danny, thank you so much for having me. I'll catch you later. And
All right.
OMI to the moon, to the moon.
To the
All right,
moon.
later guys. Goodbye. Meow, meow, meow.